Don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I work too hard for it. No, I need to beat it before you mess up the mood. Yeah, I work too hard for it. Yeah, don't mess up the mood.
What's good?
Hey.
Sound good, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We have. Where is he at, bro?
We have no idea where he is.
God damn it.
But he said he'd be here soon.
Yeah, he said like a minute or two, so we'll see if that was true.
So it's 2:28. Let's see what time he walks.
2:28. But welcome everybody once again to another episode. We're gonna start. Because this I'm effort. I'm just like Nah, man. How are you though?
I'm good, dude.
Oh,
you
shit.
know.
Been chilling?
Yeah, just busy and hungry, and it's hot outside and it's windy outside.
It's middle of wedding season, but we're gonna grind it out, bro.
I mean, we got 2 back-to-back with each other, so that's cool.
Yeah, we had one on Sunday, and
now this Saturday and then next
a
Saturday.
bunch of shit going forward, and
then at the end of the month. So that's cool that at least we get to do 3 together.
I'm
Pretty
excited though.
Yeah, me too.
I
It's
can't
always
wait.
nice when we both do them, because then we can kind of hang out and stuff, you know,
Right.
throughout the wedding and everything. We just chill. But
It's
what about you,
way more
man?
fun. No, I'm just working, bro, trying to catch up with video editing and stuff, and now doing this one podcast with our guest.
Yeah.
Who hasn't showed up
Who
yet.
has not shown up yet. So.
But you know, shit happens. I don't blame you, Mr. Guy.
Mr. Guy.
I feel like people are gonna like this one though.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna want to watch
seriously,
it.
on a serious note, this guy is a freaking G.
Yeah, he's someone that we were gonna have here a lot earlier than
How would you
this.
describe him? Like, if you can't say the name, but go ahead and describe him to see if people kind of like guess who he is.
Very outgoing, a lot of tattoos.
How would you describe
Tall.
his photography style?
Very styled concert photography.
Very creative, right?
Yeah, like creative styled shoots, I think, is the way he does most of his stuff. But then now he shoots a lot of concerts, so.
Yeah, and he's back in town.
Yeah, he
Right.
came in for yesterday, I believe he came in, and he leaves tomorrow. So he actually called me yesterday and was like, dude, I was at Costco.
Really?
And he
What'd he
FaceTimed me,
say?
and I'm like, what the hell does he want? And then I answer, and he's like, yo, guess where I'm at? And he like showed me the background.
Oh,
and I'm
like Masterpiece and stuff?
Yeah, and
or?
I was like, oh, are you at Masterpiece? And he's like, yeah. And then he like pointed the phone at Anthony, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's dope.
And Anthony's like, yeah, bro, I picked him up hella early today, like last notice. Like, I guess he just gave him like no notice to go pick him up.
Really? So he
yeah,
just
so
didn't
Anthony
tell
just
anybody?
no, like Anthony just like had. I mean, Anthony was thankfully able to go get him, but he was like, this fool acts like we got no lives, bro. Like, we can just put our life on hold.
Is it
Oh,
here?
like, speak of the devil, yeah.
There you go. I'm gonna go get him.
Hey. No, you're good. Walk in and
Yeah.
go towards the door on the right.
I'm gonna
Like
get
after
him.
you walk in. Chava's gonna go get you. All right.
Yo. What's going on? It's nice to see you, man. I'm Charlie. Come on in. We started. We're rolling.
Yeah, we started. We've been clowning on you for like 5 minutes. What's good, bro? Sit down. Right here.
Sit right there. And then put
Throw on those headphones.
Okay, look, there's a lot of bullshit, a lot of little something, but I'm here.
You made it. That's what matters, okay? We're not mad. We're just clowning.
We were just kind of. You'll hear it.
Yeah.
I will hear it for sure. I like this little setup you guys got here. You got the mood lighting on the back, got the green.
We're trying, bro.
I like it, dude.
Just recently upgraded everything, so get a little close to the mic and then just gonna talk to hear yourself.
What's up, YouTube? Here we are. I like this.
It's your boy Mickey.
This is DJ Centra.
Okay, so now that he's here, let us introduce our guest, Mr. Micky. I guess we could say Micky Melz.
You can.
What's your name?
My real name?
Yeah.
I'm not giving out my government name.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
It's like you
I go by
tripping.
Mickey. Micky Melz, aka the Don, aka.
Okay, stop.
No,
Relax.
no, yeah, I just go by Micky.
He told me his real name, but I guess I won't air it out if he doesn't want me
No,
to.
if you want to, no.
I'll tell you after the podcast. He has a cool name.
I got people looking for me. So.
Oh my
snap.
gosh. Calm down.
We
Calm
let this
down.
guy walk into my house, man.
Dude.
Well, when he said just walk in, I was like, "Are you sure about that?" Like,
Right. What if
like,
it's the wrong house? Right?
That's what I was looking at the numbers of the house. I was like, there was the one next door. I was gonna just walk in, and then the dog was
Exactly.
barking. I was like, okay, that's definitely not this house.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that would have been bad.
Yeah, that wasn't like the best idea, bro.
I guess
Just walk into somebody's
Well, he
house.
said, yeah, just walk in, you'll be fine. I'm like,
Well, I mean, 9:52. You know.
well, yeah, I mean, I saw your car, and then I looked through the window and I saw the backdrop. I was like, okay, that's definitely.
Oh,
the house.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily parked in front of the house, so I guess that can be a little confusing too.
No, I parked
But-
all the way down there.
Anyways,
You made it, bro.
you made it, bro.
I know. I'm happy to be here. I know we've decided I was supposed to come like a couple
Very early
months.
on.
Yeah, a couple months
You're
back.
you're gonna be at least one of our first 3 guests when we started.
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, things happened, and
But then you decided to leave us.
no, I didn't decide. I swear I'm not. I'm vaccinated. I promise.
No, you're good.
No, you're fine.
I didn't decide to leave. It just I had to take care of some things, and
You just
I-
ended up staying.
Well, it's a long story. So I ended up going to Austin to do a couple shoots and see some friends, and then those couple shoots turned into a couple more shoots, and
Then that turned into more.
then turned into more, and then turned into shooting festivals, and now we're here.
Yeah.
More opportunities over there, right?
What's that?
More opportunities over there.
I'd say it's just because like everything's open and there's like actual venues. Like here, I don't really think there's that many venues.
Not really, no.
I'd say like, I mean, there yes and no. There's definitely more opportunities, but it's like anywhere you go, it's like you got to make your own opportunities. You know,
Right.
Because like I could go to Austin, but if I didn't push myself like the way I would have pushed here, I still wouldn't have done anything. It was just all about you got to keep pushing yourself and just putting your name out there, and
Yeah.
it'll stick somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you were here for, how long were you here before you went back?
Like I think about 2 years.
2 years?
Maybe a year. I don't know. I came in 2019.
And then you left, what, like early 2020, middle of 2020?
October 2020.
Oh, so like a year and a half.
So yeah, about a year and a half. Yeah.
And
Okay.
where were you living before you moved here?
Oh, I was back in Austin.
Oh, back in. Oh, so
Yeah.
you're from there
So
originally?
initially from Austin, yeah.
I see.
But that's where I started a lot of my work, and then I came here just because to get away and just like have a fresh start, and I ended up right back where I started.
Yeah.
I feel like it
That's
went
cool.
from I mean, you're getting your name out here
Mm-hmm.
pretty well. At least around when I met you, like a lot of people seem to know who you were. But then when you went over there, I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely like your grounds, bro. Like you were hella busy.
Oh, for sure. It
I
was-
remember you said you were leaving for a week, and then like 3 weeks passed, 4 weeks passed, and I'm like, yo, bro, you
I was
good?
getting messages and calls, and people were like, "Yo, are you coming back?" Like, and then I remember somebody called me and said, "You're never coming back. I hate you." I'm like, "Oh."
You're like, oh.
It's like I'm not like I'm leaving. Like I disappeared off the face of the earth. I just had. It's like somebody has to go get deployed and just go get work out and like.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you had all those jobs lined up for you, like, why not? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if any one of you, like for example, if you for some reason went to Seattle, Washington, just to do a wedding, right?
And then that picks
And
up
then you
more.
get there, then it's like, oh, by the way, like 3 of the bridesmaids also have weddings, and then it's okay, and it's like in back-to-back weeks, right?
I would definitely
Yeah.
say.
Right.
No.
And then next thing you know, you're on the 3rd wedding, and it's like, hey, we actually the mayor of Seattle needs a wedding. Boom. Okay, now you're there, and next thing you know, you're like 6 months in, and it's like, fuck, I was only supposed to be here for a week. And
Yeah.
you're 6 months in, and you're working, you're doing shit.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy, man.
No, I mean, I feel like that's a cool opportunity though, like just to go somewhere and get work like that. Like I wish that'd be a thing. Like if you could just choose, yo, I'm going to like Washington DC and I'm gonna be there for 5 months because I got
Mhm.
stuff lined up. Like why wouldn't you? You know?
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, I think anybody can. If you go to, let's say, I want to start doing work in Ohio for some reason. I want to go to Ohio.
Ohio.
You first thing you want to do is, of course, like take a trip there, like meet people, make connections, then say like, hey, I want to shoot here, woo, woo, woo. And that's all you got to do is like, if I want to go move to Ohio, I'll move to Ohio and I'll make the play.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have work. If I don't, I'll make work.
Like you just slowly start to. I mean, you did that when you came here.
Yeah. Like
I mean-
I feel like people, it's easier to get work in other cities or just get work in general if you know how to network and you know how to put your name out there.
Yeah.
So why don't you give the people a little rundown of who you are and what you do and how long you've been doing it?
Okay, so name's Micky again. I'm a photographer. I shoot a lot of festivals, clubs. I'm with an EDM artist called Riot 10. I'm his personal photographer. I'm also a resident photographer in a couple venues out in San Marcos and in Austin. I like long walks on the beach, sushi, dogs. Yeah, but photography has been my life for as long as I can remember, since 2014 when me and my boys in high school, like, we didn't do anything but photography because it's all we had. And I went from making it a hobby to a passion, and now it's like, yeah, you're getting paid to do it. I mean, you're doing it too. Nanners, if I wanted to get a wedding done, right? And then I've seen your portraits, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been following you for a while, and the main thing that stands out to me is like the creativity that you have. Freaking insane.
Well, I mean, I try to make a world that I want to live in, because honestly, sometimes this world sucks. Not in like, I'm going to like end my life, world sucks. No, but it's, sometimes I get very bored. And when I'm doing shoots, I'm like, okay, cool, I can do a portrait and put you up against a nice backdrop. That's cool. But what if I put you in a tub full of like Skittles? And
like do something
crazy and like throw fucking whipped cream at you. Like that would be dope. It'd be cool. Like,
yeah. I also feel like I don't think I was following you when you first moved here.
No.
But when, you started working with people and stuff, you definitely kind of like changed the game too. Because I don't think anybody was doing stuff like that. Like, I would never see stuff like that. And then when I started seeing your work, I was like, oh man, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, you gotta push the boundaries,
Yeah.
Because people get very complacent, and especially in this game, like if everybody's shooting the same for a while, you're gonna get to a point where it's like, well, I kind of don't want to do it anymore. And I don't ever want to have that feeling or ever have that mentality like, damn, I'm kind of bored of this. No, I'm always trying to push the envelope. And I challenge every photographer, anyone that's watching. Where's the camera?
It's somewhere.
Anyone that's watching. What's that?
Go for it.
Okay. Now, if anyone's watching, you better challenge yourself, put yourself out of your comfort zone, and just freaking shoot. Like, if you have an idea in your head and you're like, damn, I don't have the resources, you'll figure it out. And there's somebody that if you don't have the resources, you don't know how to shoot, we know somebody that does. Or just reach out to somebody, like reach out to anybody that you know that's a good photographer and just get inspiration.
Yeah, like I see a lot of people here, like, how do I make it work? And look at you. You went to another state. I mean, you were from there, but you made it work.
Well, yeah, I think if I'm in this city, right, and I want to shoot weddings, like, you got to know who your competition is, of course, Nanders. But if for some reason you just can't get work, don't give up. Like, go somewhere else. Like, hey, okay, I can't get work here in Reno, but for some reason they really, really like me in San Francisco, or they really like me in Sacramento, or even like in South Lake Tahoe. For some reason, I keep getting shoots there. Then go to that city. But you don't have to stay in a city.
No, I think if you find clientele elsewhere else, like it's okay to make the move or go out there for a little bit so you can get work. Because it's just I think photography now is like kind of everyone wants to do it.
Oh, it's wise
too. So it's like a very saturated market. I think almost anywhere at this point. Like here, I feel like there's so many photographers or people who are like starting that it's a little harder for them to blow up than it might have been like 5-6 years ago.
5-6 years ago, I knew 2 photographers in my city, and it was me. And well, that's a lie. It was like 4 photographers, but it was like my group of guys. And now it's every 5-10 people, one of them is a photographer, and like that's cool. I mean, it's dope that you get to see people that really understand that this craft is something that's more important than just taking a photo. You're like, well, especially now it's a digital era, like photography and videography is more prominent now than it was 6 years ago. So yeah, it sucks that it is saturated, but it's also good because it's like, okay, well, if everybody's shooting now, we need to set the boundaries of like where excellence is. Oh, fuck, is that me? Okay, I'll keep that off.
No, we don't care. It's all good.
No, but yeah, it's like it's good, but it's good because we can set the boundaries and we can be like, hey, you guys are all starting. This is where we all need to be. but it is sucks because if everybody's shooting, it's really hard to get work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I think around when I started, there was maybe 3 people that I knew were really doing it, like 3 or 4 people here.
Yeah.
Now it's like I can name you like 40 photographers in town,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and 40 of that, maybe 10, 15 of those are like doing it full time, and the rest are like trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the ones that like, oh, I've only been shooting a year or like 2 years, and they're trying to get there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like everyone's trying to get there now. Like it's
Yeah.
really, it's hard, but it's not undoable because I've seen people do it very early too.
Well,
Like,
if you know how to network and I keep saying move right and network, because networking is the most important thing, especially in this business, because I mean that's a lot of the work I get is word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like if you're really good at networking and you've only been shooting for 6 months and you're getting more gigs than someone that's shooting 3 to 5 years, I mean, good on you. You're doing the right thing.
it just means that you're doing things the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I don't think you necessarily have to be in it for years to make it.
Mm-mm.
Because I've seen people in like a year or 2 start doing it full time
Right.
because they just did something that made them get there.
Right.
So like when people get kind of discouraged and they're like, oh, it's gonna take me forever, it's like, well, it takes everyone a certain amount of time, and that's okay. Like if it takes you 6 years, then it does. If it takes you 5 months, then it does.
Yeah, I mean, some people learn fast, some people learn slow. Some people don't even learn at all. Some people, I know guys that have been shooting for God knows how long, like probably like 6, 7, maybe even 10 years, and they're still in the same position because it's not like they're bad photographers. They're great photographers, but they just get complacent.
Yeah.
And they feel like, oh, I've been shooting for 6 or 7 years, so I'm entitled to do this. It's like, no, you're not entitled.
And just out of curiosity, do you do that full time? Are you a photographer full time?
Yeah, full time. And honestly, the coolest thing, but I will say, if you want to do photography full time, the first year is the worst. I'd say. I don't know about you.
I agree.
You. The first year is the worst because it's a lot of pushing yourself out there, and you got to live a different lifestyle than living. I mean, well, it's my lifestyle is a little bit different because I'm touring all the time, so I'm never really like at home. But let's say if I was like a wedding photographer, and I just started out, not a lot of people are going to want to shoot with me at first because they're like, okay, you're shooting my wedding. This is like a very special moment for me. I'm not really sure if I want to book you versus booking someone that's been doing it for like, or has solid work.
Yeah.
So the first year sucks. But after you make that, even the first 6 months or the first year, after you make that first year and you're finally getting bookings, after that, life is really easy.
I agree. I mean, my first year, I was definitely nervous about going full time, especially in the beginning. But, I did it around like graduation season, which was cool. So that was like a good start.
Oh, so you came at the right time.
Yeah, like that was like nice. And then I did like maybe, I don't know, like maybe 5, 6 weddings like that year that had come the year before, because I started to post about weddings finally. Yeah. So people were like, oh, you do that? Okay. And I kick myself in the head all the time. I'm like, dude, I should have started posting weddings like long ago.
Because people get married a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people
everyone gets married every year.
Everybody gets married. Everybody graduates.
I feel like for me though, do you remember last year how much I was working? So I feel like that was like the grinding part of my like process of going full time, because I haven't felt like it's been that hard, but I was pretty well established already by the time I went full time, because it took me forever to finally fucking do it.
I know if you're well established and you're also like working part time, but it's like your clientele is solid. I mean, yeah, the first year could be real cake.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case for me.
But it takes a process. It's always like it's a process to get there, and you're gonna have to.
What's your favorite thing to shoot? I'm asking both of you.
I like weddings.
I like weddings the
most. Or
most.
couples in general. Like if it's a couple.
I've seen your couple photos. Those are pretty nasty.
I think.
Pretty nasty.
I think weddings. Like you said, couples are a lot of fun too.
Well, just creative shit with models and stuff.
Yeah, like that's sometimes just to shoot for fun.
When you kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone and do something different.
I think sometimes when you get so busy with paid stuff, it's good to like in between do something for yourself to just kind of like not overwork. Like it's cool to do things and get paid for it, but then it's like the same thing. So you start to kind of like, oh, I want to do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
after a while, you want to switch it
like
up
during like grad season, all you're shooting is grads, and then you're like, all right, bro, I need to do something else because like I'm tired of being at UNR like for 2 months straight. You know what I mean?
You might as well like pack a fucking suitcase, live there.
Like just might as well stay there for a little bit.
Get a dorm room, honestly. Like this is where we do all our shoots. No, I'm the opposite. I cannot do grad shoots or family shoots or any of that stuff just because I don't know. I'm too.
It's all the same.
I just can't do it. But I'd rather shoot like clubs and festivals. Just like the energy there is alive. But you know, it's the same thing. After you shoot a club every weekend or every 3 days a week, it's very mundane. You lose creativity. So my creative outlet is like, there's like, hey, Mickey, I know you don't do grad shoots, but come do a grad shoot. Like, okay, this is where I can really get creative. But if someone was like, hey, Mickey, can you do my grad photos? Don't hit me up.
I don't want you heard him.
I think I'm on that same boat too, where when people ask me to do something I don't really do much, then it's like that sounds pretty dope. Like a lot of people be like, can you take pictures of my car? I'm like, all right. Like I never do that. So it's like a different outlet.
Do you guys get like asked a lot like, hey, I got this car, like, hey man, like I got a party later on, you trying to come shoot?
I've been asked about parties a couple times. I've been starting to get cars a little more, which I'm okay with because I don't do them enough for me to be like, oh, I'm tired of that. And then I've just been having other people who are like, they have an idea and they want me to just kind of shoot it, and I'm like, that's fine. Like I'll go shoot with you for that, you know, kind of like a collaborative shoot, but not really, because they're still like hiring me for it. They just want me to do the photos, but they already have like something in their head of where they want to go, what they want to wear, and like all that. So and even at weddings, I try to like switch it up during the wedding and do things a little different each wedding too, just because it's a new environment that people are always going to be different at every wedding, you know. Okay.
So. I kind of like the adrenaline of weddings though, when you don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, it's you know we have the schedule and stuff, but then things go south super quick. So it's like, I kind of like just figuring things out on the spot.
I think I like weddings, not shooting it, like going to them, because I like to get drunk, you know.
The party, right?
Dance and stuff. This is fun. It's exciting.
I saw you were on Hulu, right? Is that what it was?
We were on Hulu.
You were in a concert?
Yeah.
You were going crazy, bro.
So we were at Lollapalooza. We had a set at Lollapalooza. And they were like, at last minute, they told us, oh, by the way, we're streaming your whole set out on Hulu. And I was like,
you're like, all right.
Okay. This is going to be cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to make it on it at all, because I was like, I'm probably going to just be up there for like, because when I have a team. So it's me and this guy, Gabe. Shout out to Gabe. He's his videographer. So most of the time he's doing a lot of the video, and I just come in for the stills. And I just came up there one moment during the set, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a burst shot and get like the crowd and like the DJ set. And I'm over there hanging out like this. Next thing you know, my phone's blowing up. People are sending me like screenshots. I'm like, yo, why are you on Hulu? I'm like, what?
What?
Right? And then like I'm out in the crowd, in the media pit, just like getting a bunch of stills and stuff like that. And they're like, yo, you're still on this live stream. I'm like, I'm not. What is going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you see that video though?
I don't think I did, but
yeah, I think I have it on my phone.
Yeah, let me see that.
I have the most serious face.
Because you're hella focused.
Because I didn't want to miss the shots.
I mean, yeah. Like you're like in a party environment, but you're still like working.
Yeah. You gotta be focused.
You know? Let's see if I saved it.
Do you drink at all when you're doing that?
I mean, I do a little bit, but most of the time we have like when you shoot with an artist, there's a green room. So whatever they're drinking, I mean, I'm gonna get a couple drinks in, like at least 2 drinks, but I'm not gonna get sauced, like, just to loosen myself up. But other than that, like I won't get sauced.
I'm the same way at weddings when people are like, "Do you want to take a shot?" I'm like, "I'll take like 1 or 2 shots." You're just like.
Just holding the camera with my dear. Like I had to, bro. Like you just got to get the shot. You know?
I mean, no, yeah, for sure.
That's the definition of get the shot.
I mean, so I know right now, you leave tomorrow, right?
I leave on Saturday.
Oh, you're leaving Saturday?
Yeah, I extended it one more day. Just
so what were you doing before you came here? And like, are you going back to another project when you go back?
So before I flew in here, I was at Hard Summerfest.
Okay.
And so it's funny because like I was supposed to go to Austin straight from there, but if you ever heard about Spirit, all of their employees did a walkout And so
they did?
Yeah, I heard-
every single Spirit flight was canceled.
Damn.
And so
Why are you flying Spirit in the first place?
hey,
bro?
$80 to go from LA to Austin.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
taking
hella
that
cheap.
flight. Like, and so I see the flight. And I'm like, oh damn. So like I was like, okay, well I can't reschedule a flight on Spirit because there's nobody here. So it's like, okay, what are my options here? And so I was looking at flights online, and it's like the next flight that can go to Austin is it's like you'd fly to Phoenix. And you lay over there for 9 hours.
Oof.
And then go from
up.
Phoenix to Austin. And I'm like, I'm not sitting in first one in Phoenix for 9 hours because it's too hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, how much is a flight to Reno right now? It's $90.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
So I was like, cool, I'll just take the flight to Reno and then on Saturday fly back to Austin.
From here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Are you gonna do any shoots here?
Yeah, I lined up a couple at the Masterpiece Studio, just because like I wanted to just fuck it up. Might as well. We're here. There's a studio here. Let's go ahead and do a couple shoots. And then if anybody's watching or like that for some reason, if anybody, well, I'm probably gonna be. This isn't gonna show.
No, this is gonna come out tomorrow.
Oh,
Maybe,
okay.
So.
Well, maybe if you hear this or see this or even see me in the town or on Instagram, hit me up. I'm down. I'll shoot. For
Yeah.
like, until Saturday, because after that I'm
What time do you leave Saturday?
in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any other fest coming up? Like,
Yeah.
once you go
So
back?
we have Base Canyon, that's in Seattle, and then Electric Zoo.
Oh, the Electric Zoo is cool.
We have Freaky Deaky, which is happening. Then there's like, there's so many festivals. There's a lot of shows though. We have like, I think like 20, 30 shows.
Damn.
But I mean, big
Like
festivals,
the rest of this year, or like just in general.
I think just in general, because usually when we go to like a city or something and we have like a festival, there's like a venue there that's like knows that we're there, and it's like, hey, if you guys stay another day, we can book you for another show.
Oh.
So it's like a constantly evolving tour. So like we have a specific set of dates, but there will be surprise guest shows, or there'll be like a show that happens after like a big festival. Like we did in Lollapalooza. We had our set was on Friday, and then we had another show on the Saturday, I think it was. Yeah, we had a show Saturday, and that was like a last minute show.
Oh, okay.
So because like we were fluent in, and the guy that we were backstage with, he's like, hey, I actually we have this EDM show in Waukee, and it's in like, I think it's like an hour from Chicago. He's like, you guys want to headline it? And he's like, yeah, let's do it quick. And so it's like just like that. And then but yeah, we have a lot of shows. I don't have anything booked until the end of August. So right now I'm on break for like 2-3 weeks.
Oh, cool.
So if I wanted to stay for like 2 to 3 weeks, I could.
But you don't want to?
I don't know, man.
You probably will.
I might. I mean, I might. If people want to shoot or hang out, like I'm down. But if not, then it's like I don't want to. I'm at a position where it's like I don't want to waste my time. It's more like if I'm gonna hang out with somebody, it's like if you're either a photographer or a creative. I don't want to just like, hey, let's go to the bar and get fucked up. Like, no, I don't want to do that.
Like a pointless hangout in a way.
No, I'm like this isn't a pointless hangout.
Yeah.
We're doing
No,
something
it's gonna be-
productive. You know?
No, we were waiting for you forever, bro. 9 months. took us 9 months to get you in
For
here,
real.
bro.
For
Bro,
real.
I'm so sorry. And
No, man. You
I wish, I mean, I'm kind of glad that I waited so long because like now it looks way better. I don't know what it looked like when it first started.
Well, and you're
No, it looked
you're
like shit.
in a completely different spot than last year too.
Oh, yeah.
Like as far as what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Oh yeah,
So-
I feel like I've gotten a lot better since
Yeah,
the
like
last time
you-
you guys met me.
I agree.
Like your I don't want to say like your style, but just like what you're shooting is different now. You know what I mean? Like how you're just going on tour all the time. Like you weren't doing that last year, so
No,
it's like
not at all.
I don't think we've had anyone come in here who, well, I mean, I know Caleb tours with like screamo bands and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I think he's going to start now that like stuff is opening up.
Yeah.
But other than that, we haven't had anyone who's like, oh, I shoot concerts and like fests and like all that. So it's like it's a
Well, just know
different thing.
it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it is very, very, very nerve wracking.
Oh, I know.
'Cause if you
He's
don't-
told
if you
me
don't get the shot, it's terrible time because you can't
Yeah.
go back and redo
you
it.
can't recreate it. It's like a wedding, dude. You can't miss because that's a one-time thing. And like,
Have
I'm
you
sure
ever,
like,
have you ever missed a moment?
oh, I have a few times.
Oh, bro. It's just like 2 weeks ago.
Oh
Mr.
yeah, he
Fun.
was telling me about that.
Our first look with the dad.
Damn, it happens.
Yeah, my camera just shut off. I had the battery grip,
Yeah,
and I think it just
my camera
It met-
overheated once. It was.
Are you shooting with Sony or what?
I shoot with a Mark III. My camera's old. I need to upgrade mine.
I once, like, I didn't miss a first kiss, but I felt like I did because I didn't get the angle I wanted to get. I ended up getting, like, because they did it out of nowhere. Like, I was just totally caught off guard. So I'm like, by the time I picked up my camera to do it, like, I kind of just barely got anything. You know, normally at a wedding, like, you know when it's coming up, but they kind of just like did it, and I'm like, whoa, what the heck, dude? I'm like, yo, can you do that again? Like, hey, bro, you just gave me like 2 seconds. Like, calm down. It doesn't even take me like 2 seconds to pick up my camera and shoot it. Like, you know, and I ended up after the ceremony just asking them to do it right by where they got married, and so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is exactly like you did it. But one of the things
next time just tell them to kiss again.
I mean, do it again. You know what frustrates? You know,
it's not a first kiss.
You know what frustrates me sometimes though is like when people, like, the person that marries you, like, he just stays in the background. I'm like, bro, move out. Yeah. Like, why are you back there?
He just wants to get a shot. He's like, I just.
Like, a lot of times when I've done a wedding inside a church, like their ceremony, I just go ask the pastor, like, hey, do you think after you do that you can step out? And they'll agree. But then they just stay there, and I'm like, so once he steps away, I'm like, kiss again, so I don't get him in the back. And they're like, oh, okay, because they realize like, oh yeah, he was behind this the whole time, and I'm like, you don't want that. Like, you're not gonna frame that or anything.
You just frame it. You frame the photo of your first kiss, and like in the corner of the eye, you just see the pastor there.
There's just the pastor there like this, you know, like, you know, giving you a blessing. Like, cool, yeah, he's blessing you, but it's like, dude, move out of the way really quick. Or a lot lately I've been asking, like, if it's like a family member or just someone who has the license to marry you, like right before the ceremony starts, I'm like, can I just ask you when they're gonna do your first kiss for you to step to the side? And
I did that one time, and this one lady was like pushing back, like she's like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh,
I know what you're doing, but
people get offended.
Well, I think what people don't understand is like, the photography, it's a job. We're here and providing a service. Like, if if I want a specific shot, they hired me for a reason to move. You know what someone
or did? I'm sure you go through this too. Like, you have to step in front of people. You have to like even push people aside. Like, you have to get the shot.
I've shoved some people.
Right.
Like, I was walking in a crowd. I think it was what show was it? Louis the Child. I was walking through the crowd, and that's also a moment that I missed. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I had to go to the back of the house, and like, so there's like, imagine like a sea of like just kids just sitting there going crazy, and like nobody's moving. I'm just like, excuse me. These guys look at me, and they just like keep partying. I'm like, bet. So I'm just like fucking pushing everybody around, like walking by, and then this guy's following me. He's like, bro, why the heck did you push me? And like, as soon as he starts like pressing me, this security guard like looks at him like with this most like, I'm gonna beat you up if you ever touch this guy, and he just like froze and then walked away. So it's like, I get it. You people are gonna get mad, but it's like, you got to get that shot. Yeah. And
the thing is, you should understand if there's a media person there, like, bro, just move. It's okay. Like, you don't. Like, I've gone to concerts where there's a photographer in the crowd trying to like get a shot, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, go ahead. Like, I know you got your own job to do, but people want to act like, oh, he's pushing me just to push me. It's like, no, bro, I need to go over there.
I need to get over there, bro. Like, I promise I'm only here for a second, and then you'll have the rest of the concert. I promise, right? Yeah. That's the same time I missed shots. At the end of the Louis the Child show, they do a blast of confetti, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready for the shot. This boom. Camera's ready. As soon as the confetti goes off, my camera like shuts off.
Oh, I hate that. That also happened to me.
No. And I thought my camera had died. I was like, Mickey, why didn't you charge it, you dummy? And then like afterwards, like I'm looking, like I turn on my camera and it just turns right back on. I'm like, and I think it's because it had overheated.
Oh, like if you're just in the heat, dude.
Yeah. Imagine like 1,000 people in one room. No, like the AC's like on, but it's just, it gets so hot and humid that the camera just can't take it.
Yeah. Like especially if you're just constantly at it and you're not like turning it off to give it a break at all, which I can see turning it off at a concert might be kind of like sus, because you know, like, what if you turn it off for just to let it breathe for like 15 seconds, and then those 15 seconds something happens and you're like, oh crap, dude, I can't just point and shoot it.
That's why, like, whenever you go to concerts, you see like a lot of photographers. Well, festivals are different. Concerts, you see them, they have like 2 cameras on them. They'll have like a camera for like telephoto shots, like a variable zoom camera, and then they have one that's like a prime lens, like probably like a 16 or a 24 prime.
Yeah, just two at all times.
At all times.
And what are you shooting with?
So I was shooting with my Mark III 24-70 Sigma, And well, by the way, if you don't know what the Canon Mark III, it's a really probably one of the best camera bodies to the day, I'd say, ever.
It still holds its own.
It holds its own, but my camera is so old.
Is it the one that you've always had, that rugged up one?
It's
so beat up, bro. It's so beat up.
Like the dial where it shows you like the settings, like your manual apertures and all that stuff, where you can switch between manual, custom settings, is gone.
Yeah.
Really?
And then that's just not a thing.
And there's like another dial where you can like look through the menus. It's only a metal stick that pokes out. Right?
It's so beat up,
and, like,
dude.
bro, but like, I will say this. If you ever do a shoot with somebody and their camera is god awful, like it's just like beat to shit, but you see the lens on it, you know you're gonna get firework.
I mean, it's just as long as the body's still in decent shape and the sensor's okay, like you can just throw on a good lens.
Sensor's fine, but I think every camera has end of life. Like my camera's up there, like the shutter count is so high.
But it's a Canon. It's kind of like the Toyotas of.
Yeah,
cameras,
but there's times when I'm shooting my shutter and like it'll go off, and then after like I think like 4 or 5 shots, like if I do continuous shooting, it'll click and it'll go.
Like that's
slow.
Like
I know my shutter is not that slow. So and then I've been in the market of looking at like different cameras. Like I don't even know what I want to do.
Get Fuji.
I know. I was
Sony,
with Caesar.
Bro.
I was with
Caesar.
Sony,
man.
Go Fuji, bro. Yeah, Caesar shoots Fuji too.
Yeah,
I was so
with
stoked.
I was with him yesterday, and he pulled out his camera, and like I knew what he shot, but I never like actually got to mess with his camera. And I was messing with it, and I love like how mechanical it is. And I like in the viewfinder, you can actually, when you're adjusting your ISOs, you can actually see like the live adjustments.
I can see it being really good for a concert.
But that Sony with the low light though,
his is a crop sensor.
The low light on Sony.
Most of them are crop sensors.
So I would need a full frame.
Fuji doesn't make full frames yet.
Go with the Sony, bro. Low light, it's gonna be.
Well, yeah, the Sony low light's crazy, but then you also have the R series for Canon.
Yeah,
you're right.
So it's like I don't know.
The R series is pretty sick. They almost made me go back to Canon, almost, but I had to hold my own and keep riding for Fuji, bro.
I'll get a Fuji, like probably like the one that Caesar has, is
like
just,
the X2,
just for shits and giggles,
like just for fun.
Yeah,
there's good Fuji bodies, like if you want it just to like a point and shoot almost. Yeah,
I think I do. I want to have a point and shoot, but I don't
get
know
like an X100F or an X100V for Fuji, and they're super small bodies with just one fixed lens on it, and that's it.
Or we just say fuck it and go Leica and get an M6.
I mean,
or get the Mark IV if you're into Canon. Why don't you get the Mark IV? No?
Yeah, I mean it's just so many options now.
There's some, and
every brand has good cameras. Like there's not a brand where it's like if I go Panasonic, okay, like
they still have decent
cameras. So it's really. It's like, what do I want to shoot now? Like, what do I want to use? I like the colors in Canon. I will say I'll never go Nikon, and to this day, I do not like Nikon. I hate everything about that because it's the total opposite. Like, if you ever look at the back of a body of a Canon versus the back of a body of a Nikon, it's like literally everything is opposite, and it's like y'all just fuck you guys. Like,
it has a weird layout. I've never understood Nikon cameras either.
It's like it's like when you have those people when they were younger that played like. People that when they play video games, they're say use southpaw. Yeah, I'd never understand when people
like
do
in
that.
COD where their buttons were reversed.
Right, or like,
I can't do
or
that.
when they're looking at they use the inverted looking on that and I never understood that. That's like me using a Nikon. It's like I can't like no matter how much
I like that comparison because no one ever talks about that. I remember having homies in middle school and we'd play COD and they're like. Their two triggers were the opposite.
Right.
I'm like, how do you do that, bro?
And
like,
usually people whose triggers are like that, probably their first games they ever played were a lot of like flying games.
Because then just do that. You know what's funny is when I go play Smash, you know how on the GameCube controllers there's triggers in the back?
Yeah.
And normally those are to like dodge or block. There's people who use those as like attack buttons.
That's
and I'm like,
so weird.
Bro, what? I'm so used to like A and B.
Side note, we're ever going to play Smash? I still have to beat you in Smash.
Bro, I will record me just mopping you.
Let's go. We can do it any day of the week. I'm down. I have my Switch too. So.
Do you have the online service?
On
the Nintendo membership?
Yeah, I do.
Then when you go back and you connect it into the dock so you're not hella lagging.
I have the light version.
Oh.
I can still do it. Bro, okay, so I was going to get the original version, but I was just too picky.
If you're traveling all the time, the light is pretty.
It's nice. I played Borderlands on it. I played Legend of Zelda on it.
See, the only thing about playing on handheld and the Switch is that Nintendo, like, connection is just so bad.
God awful.
That you have to use a LAN cable, preferably, especially for Smash Bros. That's how I'm like, I don't want to play with you. You're going to be lagging the whole time, bro.
I mean, lagging or not, I'm still gonna wax you.
He's gonna have an excuse to.
I'll update the podcast soon about that, where I just 10-0 him and he doesn't even do anything. Light work. Most light work.
Do you play Smash?
Player
I
ever.
don't.
He doesn't play video games.
I don't play video games, bro.
Well, what do you do to?
I don't.
He doesn't watch TV. He doesn't watch movies.
I'm a pretty boring person, honestly.
So what do you do outside of photography?
I like to go to the gym. I like to, for the most part, I stay working, bro.
What about music?
To be honest.
You listen to music? What are y'all jamming right now?
He actually has a good music taste. I've been in the car with him and he listens to a lot of different things.
Like
he's pretty open to it. You know?
I play the guitar too sometimes.
Okay, fancy boy.
But not much else, honestly.
Chava's very just simple. That's a word to describe him, is like he's just kind of there. He just works a lot.
Okay.
Well, he's a grinder.
Grinder. Hey, we need people like that. I grind, but you know, I love to play a little bit of video games. You see how deep my voice can get.
I was just about to ask, where were you, like, your hobbies and stuff other than photography?
I love my Switch that goes everywhere. It's at the studio right now because I left it.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah. It was like the back of my mind. I was like, okay, this place is safe. I'm going to leave it here.
Yeah.
So if anybody touches my Switch, I'm going to, Other than that, though, I love music. So I'll so go and like find like new music and, which I think I'm so glad I went to Lollapalooza because I got to meet so many different artists that I would have never listened to. Like if you ever go onto like a lineup or a festival and you're like looking at like the artist, like, oh, I know him.
And then it's all the names you
like,
don't know.
I have no idea who that is. You got to look at those people because the music's actually pretty good. There's a guy that a group of people that I found called White Reaper. These guys make, they're kind of like a alternative rock band. So good though. So good.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I've seen lineups for big shows, I've started to look up the smaller names, and I found a cool amount that I'm like, that's kind of dope.
Because usually a lot of the smaller names, and like if you can look at any other festivals, probably like 2018, the Buku Festival in I think either 2018 or 2017, Doja Cat was one of the smaller artists, and now she's a headliner. So
the way I found out about Odessa is literally through, I think it might have been a Coachella like back in 2015 or 16.
Yeah.
And they were like in the middle. And the name just kind of rang out. I'm like, Odessa, like what is that? And then I looked them up and I'm like, bruh.
I'll after this, I'll give you the lineup for the Lollapalooza and Coachella. You should look at the little artists because I promise you in like 2 to 3 years, a lot of those like smaller artists will probably be headliners.
Yeah.
And that's just how the music scene works. And it dates back all the way back to the 80s. Like any big artist that 2 or 3 years back or even 4 years back, they're probably a smaller artist at a festival.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have any big artists that your goal will be to shoot for them?
I mean,
anybody?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Like, do you have a big artist that you'd wish you'd shoot for, or like you would hope to one day shoot for?
So I never thought I'd be in the EDM scene. I think that if I was to shoot any artist ever, I would want to shoot. I'm just thinking, DJ Snake.
DJ Snake?
Yeah.
His sets look pretty hype.
Yeah. And for 2 reasons. One, he's lit. 2, I feel like EDM music is the future.
Yeah, it's gotten so much bigger.
Right. And
over the past couple of years.
Because like if you go to like Rolling Loud's dope, but there's just so many complications and there's so many fights, and eventually like people are gonna get sick and tired of that. And if you ever go to an EDM festival, there's probably somebody fighting somewhere, but it's always good energy, and you could fit so many people in so many big spaces, and people will listen to the dance music all day. People can't listen to rap music all day.
No. Like, do you remember that there used to be a Rock the Bells? Did you ever hear about that? I went to that once and it was rough, man. It was literally just pure hip hop though. Like it was basically a Coachella for a whole bunch of rappers. Right. And one of the years that I went, Wu-Tang was the headliner. Right. So it was like, whoa, dude, Wu-Tang Clan. Right. And then, you had all these other like 90s hip hop artists and like smaller ones and up and coming. And yeah, it's just, people aren't very happy. Like they're in a good mood for a while, but then that music just kind of like after a while of hearing it, like some people get too rowdy and then they want to start moshing, and then it's like, but it was like that when I used to go to rock concerts too. Like when I used to go to like screamo concerts, and people always want to throw a mosh pit, and you're like, really, bro? Like you're just all gonna sock each other in the face?
Oh,
like, all right.
mosh pits are no, not going away. Those
No,
they're forever
those will
gonna
never
come.
stay.
Just
They'll do it for like the most random music too.
Right? Like there was somebody moshed at Louis the Child. I was like,
What?
are you doing here?
For Louis the Child?
Yeah, but it was like a tiny mosh pit. There's like
Oh.
3 or 4 people, and like everybody's looking around like, bro, no, this is not the music. Like I get it, like rock music, and then there's this. If you ever, do you guys listen to EDM music?
I do, yeah.
Okay,
I don't really.
Well, if you should start because it's pretty cool. There's this guy named Sudden Death, that really good EDM artist. He's like rock EDM, and it's fire. And the mosh pits I've seen are so deadly. And well, even Riot 10, the guy I'm with, his mosh pits are deadly too. I got into a mosh pit just to get some footage, and I got decked. I think I put it on TikTok. I was just like recording, and somebody just slams right into me, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm not mad. Like
if you get in there, like you should.
If you
know.
start fighting in a mosh pit, you're decked. But
Yeah.
like if you like, it's like when you're pushing people,
Pushing each other.
And it's like you're releasing that anger. It's like, okay, I get it.
I remember going to rock concerts and people were just like swinging their arms with their fists closed, so they would randomly crack someone in the cheek, and it's like, oh, bro, don't do that. I saw someone get their nose broken once. Do you remember Warped Tour? Did you ever hear about that?
I would love to shoot Warped Tour. That would be,
yeah. I mean, I'm sad I wasn't into photography then, but back in like 2014, I went to Warped Tour down near like San Francisco, because there was like at least 5-6 bands that were like, I really want to go see them. And when I went to the We Came as Romans set, I just remember like a big pile of people like moshing. And then I just see a dude walk out like this, and his hands are like covered in blood. He had a white shirt, like just soaked, nose straight broken, dude. Like I guess someone just did one of those things and just like decked him, and he just like, dude didn't even seem mad. Like he just walked out like yo, I need to like plug my nose. I'm like, bro, you just got your nose broken.
Like, I mean, you know the stakes when you go into a mosh.
I definitely stayed away from that. I was like, I'm cool back here, bro. I can see the artist. Like it's all good.
I like to watch mosh pits, but I don't like to be in a mosh pit.
No, it's interesting to see them, but if you get in there, you're probably gonna get hurt. Like it's no doubt, bro. Like, you know.
I can't believe you don't do anything, man. That's crazy.
That's basically
I can't believe
bro.
you don't do anything.
That's basically it.
He has no life other than taking photos.
Which, I mean,
he's so like mind blown. He's like, what do you do for interest? Nothing.
Do you like food? Do you eat?
I love to eat.
He's becoming more of a foodie now, I think.
Yeah, I've been going out to eat more.
Okay. What's a good spot here in Reno for y'all? Like the best spot, like for.
We always go to Anna's.
Anna's.
Tacos.
Anna's is right down the street.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want good like tacos.
Okay. We might have to
What else?
This
guy's
what kind of food you want though?
You gotta ask him.
Well, not sushi. I won't get sushi here. But well, actually, no, that's a lie. There's a spot here that I got sushi. It was like 2 years ago. It's over there by the Atlantis.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what it's called.
Is it Hong Kong Diner?
No, I know it's definitely not.
Is it sushi place?
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. I just can't remember the name, but it is like right there, right? Like in that shopping center.
My favorite. I like Mexican food for sure.
Go to Anna's. Go to Anna's the restaurant, which is on McCarran. Cause the taqueria is right here. Go to Tacos Tijuana if you've never been there. It's in Sparks.
Tacos Tijuana's fire.
Okay.
And if you want totally outside of that, go get Korean barbecue. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh, I'm gonna do that actually because I haven't found a good Korean barbecue spot.
Go to EG's 4 on McCarran.
EG4's on. Okay.
That's the spot, bro.
I might have to do that later.
That's the spot.
All right, bro.
Well, I think we're getting near the wrap up time.
Plug the Instagram and just kind of like.
Yeah, I'm happy we could fit you in because you kind of just came out of nowhere.
I know it was a lot, but I mean that's just the life we live.
No, he told me I'm like, oh, I'm glad that I'm available because
right.
Because he kind of just.
It was a last minute thing. I didn't even expect to come here, but I'm here and I'm happy I get to see you guys and your setup. You guys have grown so much, and I really appreciate that you guys are still doing it because there's a lot of people I know that would do this and then just like kind of stop. And
our main thing was we wanted to be consistent, and we have been pretty consistent.
You guys have, and like if you're not here, if you ever haven't been here before, this place looks insane. It looks like it looks like a real podcast spot.
Right.
Not
It's
like,
grown a lot.
we're not in
It's
the
grown
back
a
of
lot.
somebody's mom's like van, or,
Yeah.
or we're not in like an office. Like no, this is like
No,
dope.
it's
dope.
grown
Yeah.
a lot for sure from when we like if you watch episode 1 to when you watch this one, you're just like, what?
Yeah. And it's still, there's work to do, but we're getting there.
Right. Well,
Slowly but
all
surely.
right. Well, shout out to all of my friends out there. Shout out to Masterpiece Studio. Shout out to my friend Gabe. If you listen to ADM music, check out Riot 10. He just dropped an album. He got 202 million streams in 2 days, which is fire.
damn.
You should check that out. My Instagram is Micky.afterdark. It used to be Micky Melz, but things change. What else? Check out For Creatives by Creatives. And I'm going to be in Reno until Saturday, so if you do want to shoot or just link up, you know where to find me.
There you go. You heard
All
it.
right, guys, you heard it here.
All right. Well, with that,
It goes out. Until next time.
see you guys.